welcome back inside Arizona Daily Mix. Happy Halloween to you. I love it. That's Jesse, our music director. A Nightmare on My Street. That's Fresh Prince right there. We're talking on this Tech Tuesday about securing business smartphones. Gotta keep them safe. We got Eric Marcus here, as the CEO of Marcus Networking. Always nice to have you on the show. How you feeling?
Good. It's Halloween. I'm good.
No, let's talk about this because, you know, we have our phones. We use them for everything. And when it comes to business, we want to make sure it's secure. So how do we keep up on the latest and greatest stuff? Because technology is always changing.
You know, from a business owner's perspective, there's a lot you have to deal with.
Right.
From the employee perspective, there's a lot you have to deal with. Everybody uses this phone like you mentioned. You use it to take pictures, you have your apps on it, you have your personal data on it. And the big debate right now is who owns that data?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because if you do work on your phone, especially for people who travel and they do a lot of email, they do conference calls and things like that, and then things are being sent to them, sometimes files and links. What if they needed to retrieve that? Does the employer have the right to take that off of your phone, or is that yours?
So it all depends on your employee handbook. There are not a lot of laws out there that dictate what the employer or the employee's rights are. So it depends on when you're hired, what the employee or employer is allowed to do. Our company, we have it very strict. We issue you a phone, so we don't have to worry about that. This is a corporate phone. It's meant for corporate business.
Okay.
If you have a personal phone, you use that for yourself. However, a lot of our clients give their employees an allowance. So here's $50 a month to pay for your cell phone, use it personally, use it for the company. But if I let you go, I have the right to wipe your phone clean. All your pictures, music, apps, that's your personal data, can be destroyed.
Wow, that's an eye-opener. I didn't know that, because I was assuming that if you did work for a certain company, they would give you a phone, or you would take and maybe lease out a phone as part of the contract that you sign, whatever, and then that was their information, and you have your own personal. But if it's on one phone, then it gets tricky.
It gets very tricky. You also can, if you own the phone as the employer, track the phone. So I can track this phone using, you know, Apple's Find My iPhone or Android Geolocate, and see where my employees are throughout the day if I wanted to. And a lot of companies use this for delivery tracking or to see if they're on a job site.
What about passwords? Because passwords can be tricky as well, because sometimes if you have a password, should you change it very often to keep your phone secure that way? And then should you give it to your employer?
Well, actually, as an employer, I can access the phone without that password if I have a program running on this phone and tracking it. But it's always good to have a password on your phone, regardless if it's your personal phone or your employer's phone. If it's stolen, then you don't have to worry about the data getting stolen. As an employer, if your phone's stolen, I can wipe the phone remotely. So if you leave it on an airplane or at the mall or whatever you want to do, you can wipe it and not have to worry about the data.
And because technology is always changing, the phones are always getting a little bit better and advancing. What are some of the features that people are looking into now that are a benefit to them as far as, you know, the security?
So the big thing is with Apple's new iPhone X is the facial recognition software. That's becoming a huge trend in the market. You know, Google and Amazon are coming out with phones that can do that as well. I think that's going to be one of the bigger, safer pieces of security software that's coming out.
So you just put your face to the screen of the phone, and it kind of registers all of your
It'll register exactly who you are.
So the thumb thing, has that gone away? The thumb?
It's gone away on some phones. Apple is, you know, keeping it on some of their legacy devices, but a thumbprint can actually be spoofed now. So you can take a copy of it, put it on the phone, and get in.
What?
Yeah.
That is great. Well, people think of everything, you know, because if they want it, they're going to think of a way to get it, correct?
They do, yeah.
Oh my gosh. What are you hearing? Because you deal with this all the time from people. What are the main concerns that people are having when it comes to their phone and the security?
It really goes down to security and passwords. How are people storing credit card information on their phone? How are people storing usernames and passwords for websites? A lot of people will add contacts to their phones.
Yeah.
So if they had an Amazon account, they'd put Amazon and put their username and password in the contact. Well, if I took your phone, I'd have access to everything. So there's a lot of really good apps out there that you can download to lock your passwords in there and encrypt it, which means if the phone's stolen, they can never get to your passwords or banking information.
And then should you be like transferring data on the regular? Can you do that with your phone to an external?
You know, a lot of people don't back up their phone ever. It's kind of a bad quality. So you should always plug in your phone maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that, to your computer and back it up. Apple has iTunes, Android, Google has their own way to back it up as well. And you can actually back up all of your data, all your pictures, your music, everything like that.
Nice. Good information, Eric. That's why we bring you back here on this Tech Tuesday. So again, secure those phones if you have business on it, even just your own personal information. You want more, you can go to marcusnetworking.com, and we'll have a link on our website as well, aztv.com. Thanks.
Thanks.